Greetings, Patriots. Marvin the Boon coming to you from Ice Station, Mojado, where the snowflakes live. Well, we got about 4 inches of snow day before yesterday. It's 10 degrees right now. Those ice cubes on the ground out there are like little spikes. If you fall down, they just punch a hole in you and you die. You'll die from sepsis. Well, it looks like we're going to impeach the president and get rid of him, bring in Nikki Haley, and Ellen DeGeneres can be her vice president. They've got the whistleblower witness hiding in Mexico waiting to be returned to do the Ellen show, like they did with the security guard that killed Paddock at the Mandalay Bay. I mean, if you believe that, man, you wouldn't be listening to me right now, I don't think. Sorry for the mouse pad, that dirty old mouse pad. I have a hard time finding shit to fucking lean this iPhone against. I mean, you gotta just about clamp it to something. Make it into a selfie stick. Well, nothing new to report other than the fact that, well, there's less of us walking the earth today than there was a year ago, and probably be less than a year from now. I don't see the earth regenerating itself right away. It's time for a good flush, as they said back in the Noah's Ark days, you know. I mean, you know, I say all the time, you leave the door open and anything will crawl in. But then I also say, oh, the things you see when you ain't got a gun. And they both kind of go hand in hand. Having an open society with open borders is like having such an open mind that your brain falls right out of your fucking ear. And this has been the Boon Report. I just came back in from outside, actually. That's why I have this scarf on. I forgot I had the extra layer on there. So I've got 2 shirts. See that? 2 shirts. 2 shirts, a blanket, and a scarf. And then I had my parka. And the dog still fell down 3 times between here and the corner. And I was going to walk him all the way in the back in the park because he's so old. He's 14 now. He needs the exercise on his legs, you know. So I try to walk him. Where I used to just let him out, you know. But there's so many narcs around here now, man. All they want to do is get the white man and his dog. They want my stuff, man. Everybody wants my house now, you know. House is in the middle of the street right on the park. The side of the street that they built as an afterthought. And now, 60 years later, they're sorry they built this side of the street because the school wants it, the park district wants it, Public Works needs to dig it up because all the infrastructure under here that goes to the sewer pit back here behind the house, it's all dilapidated. But they ain't got the nuts to admit it, because then they're going to have to start coughing up probably 10% over market value for these houses to inconvenience people. I told them I want $3.5 million just for this house. Because a few years ago when I first approached them about buying these 10 houses on this side of the street, I told them $3.5 million for all of them. That's $350 a piece. I paid $60,000 for my house. If I wouldn't take $350, I'd be an idiot. There's a guy up the street, another Air Force veteran. He's lived in that house for 50 some odd years. He's the original owner. He's 80 some odd years old. He told me he plans on being carried out of that house. And I said, well, I'm not going to rush you, pal. But you understand, I'm building this up to be a big thing. So just so when you hear all these rumors, don't feel like you're in a hurry to croak to get out of there. Because if I don't start big, they're not going to settle on something that I want to jump on. Oh, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. See, everybody knows what I'm doing. But the thing is, they need the land. Why would you wait? Why would you wait? Why wouldn't you just jump on it at the market price plus 10 now? See, they want to steal it, in which case I'm punitive. I want to punish them. I want to stand over them with a brick and say, "You're going to steal my house, motherfucker? Here, catch this." And just drop a brick on their head, you know? Like Arya Stark and the Hound. Those are my two new heroes, Arya Stark and the Hound. Neither one were probably meant to be the heroes of the Game of Thrones. They probably tried to make Arya Stark out to be like a little homicidal maniac. And the Hound, well, he was just a prop. But you see, there's character in both of those characters. And there's conviction in their principles. So after 8 years with that show, I never watched one episode of the show. I only found out about 2 months ago, watching 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there on little YouTube clips. But I looked at this little Arya Stark. I think she was about 7 or 8 years old when she started doing that show, with the little helmet from the guard's helmet on her head. And she was so cute. And watching her grow on the YouTube thing, you can see her growing, you know, just a few clips into a real character with some moves and an assassin, kind of like the character Emma Peel, who's Diana Rigg, and she's also in the Game of Thrones as an old wrinkled up old bag, but she does some getting even too, you know. I don't know. I see a lot of me in Arya Stark. The only difference is I'm wearing a snowflake blanket and she's wearing sable and leather. But I don't mean it in a sexual manner. There's no honeypot associated with Arya Stark with me. It's strictly a warrior, from warrior to warrior. And the Hound, man, he was just like a junkyard dog if somebody kicked around too much. But he turned out to be the good guy. I like that. When the Hound that kicked around too much ends up being the hero. That's like the old Three Stooges movie with Samson, where he's on a slave ship and they had him down there doing all the rowing. And he started out some geeky guy and ended up being some big Steve Reeve looking muscle man and kicked everybody's ass. Those are the heroes in mythology. Not the squirrely banker that finds some way to have society convinced they all need to be legally married. That way nobody comes to steal the ugly little twerp half-length banker's wife while he's off conniving ways to steal their farms. That's what marriage is all about. Saving her for him. Because in the real world, in natural selection, someone would just take her away from a little squirrely little banker and stomp his ass if he ever objected. That's what life is. That's why we have so many people with cancer and all these other genetic problems. Because too many squirrely bankers are getting the beaver instead of getting the beat down. I think things are about to change with them bankers. Bye-bye, banker. Bye-bye, baby. Pushed one junkyard dog too many, I believe. Society is going to break down. And the whole country's going to turn into the Hound. It's going to beat you down. Baby. That's what you get for killing babies. You don't know when to quit. And now it's coming to get you. And I hope it's one of them babies at the front of the pack coming to get you that almost didn't make it. Go get them, babies. Go get them. Get those bastards, babies.